This is UnEarthed, an immersive documentary uncovering the crafts that built the modern world, one strike at a time. Before factories, before power tools, before speed, there was the file cutter. In the hills of Germany's Bergisches Land, entire families once lived by the rhythm of steel and stone. Not in factories, but in small workshops attached directly to their homes. Every village had them. Every household knew the weight of the hammer. This was the putting out system. Raw steel was forged in Remscheid, carried by foot through valleys and forests, and then transformed at home, tooth by tooth, into one of the most important tools of the industrial world. The process begins by softening the steel. The file blanks are slowly annealed, often right in the kitchen hearth. Too much heat and the steel is ruined. Too little and it cannot be cut. This step alone could take half an hour, and it required patience as much as experience. Once ready, the file is fixed into a wooden stock buried deep in the ground. The earth itself absorbs the force of every strike. The file cutter sits low, legs braced, body perfectly aligned. This posture isn't tradition, it's necessity. Then comes the cutting. Each tooth is struck individually with a hammer and a hardened chisel. One blow, one groove. Thousands of times. The spacing must be perfect, the angle must be exact. There are no guides, no markings, no second chances. Everything is judged by eye, by sound, and by feel. This isn't about strength. It's about control. The chisel, called a Haubeitel, is sharpened constantly, first on a large stone, then on finer stones, sometimes finished with oil. Experienced file cutters could test sharpness with a fingertip alone. They knew exactly how long a cutting edge would last, sometimes for dozens of files. Veterans used to say that after years of practice they could cut files almost without looking, that the motion lived in the body. Some even joked they could read the newspaper while working. This was never a solitary craft. It was family work. Women tended the hearth, annealing steel between cooking meals. Children prepared edges after school, brushing away scale and smoothing surfaces. Men worked late into the night, counting pieces carefully to meet weekly delivery deadlines. A full day's output might be 36 small files, enough to earn a modest living if nothing went wrong. Different files required different skills. Saw files with razor-sharp teeth, round files for curved surfaces, square and four-sided files with complex cross-cut patterns that machines struggled to reproduce even well into the 20th century. Some of the most intricate files could take an entire day to complete just one. By the mid-1900s, only a handful of hand file cutters remained. Some adapted to machine work. Most disappeared along with their knowledge. One workshop sat untouched for years, preserved exactly as it had been left. Later, it was moved piece by piece into a museum so the craft would not vanish entirely. And this is why it matters. Every precision machine you rely on today, every engine, gear and bearing was once shaped and finished using tools like these. Perfect machines were built on imperfect hands, guided by patience, discipline and skill.
64 Stutz, genau.
64 Stutz. Und er hat jetzt nämlich Club gehauen.
Ja, oder voilà,
Dann mag er, was sie Geld dafür kriegt.
das ist doch verloren.
Die wohnen hart.
Och, ja, so ein paar Wege Platten natürlich. Ein paar mit Wege Platten. Ja, Problem. Dann sind ja fähige Kollegen.
Einer nicht, ich hab ein bisschen gesehen.
Das soll ich mal finden. Kann man auch nicht abbrechen, das treffen wir nicht.
Hey, fertig. Ich will die Kriege für den Knopf.
Das ist verloren.
Die wohnen hart. Was das war die Kirche.
Ja, das ist ja an. Kann ja nichts mit.
Ja.
Ja, verloren. So, Herr Mut, ich muss mal anfangen.
Hallo? Jut?
So.
Ja, der Jut, holt mal den Pellekes.
If this craft had disappeared completely, we wouldn't even know what we lost. If you want more stories like this, support UnEarthed by liking this video and subscribing, and tell us in the comments what forgotten craft should we uncover next.